YouTube? It's your girl KK, and listen, I know I've been missing, but I just had to make this cake for y'all because I was talking to my brother about it, and I'm like, you know what? I've made this cake before, and now I'm jonesing for a slice. So up here I have all the ingredients. What you're going to need for this cake is we're going to need 2 cake pans. I actually just brought these, so yeah, these are just 2 9-inch cake pans from Walmart, nothing special. You need Oreos. You guys, this is actually pretty special because I never used it before, but we're going to give this a whirl. Banana shake pudding, so I'm going to use these for the banana pudding side. You're going to need some food coloring, some glazed strawberries, which I also got from Walmart for like $1.67. And they're also sugar-free because this cake is going to be pretty sweet. I'm going to use a vanilla box cake, nothing special, and a strawberry box cake. Once again, nothing special. And you don't have to do 2 different cakes. I'm using 2 different cakes. The recipe typically calls for a regular old vanilla cake, so you can do that. I'm just going to spruce it up. You're going to need some butter spray to spray your pan. I have some canned evaporated milk, some vanilla wafers, regular size and mini size. You don't have to do both, but I'm going to use both. Whipped topping, you need some heavy whipping cream, and you need some strawberries. You're also going to need a piping bag, some type of tools to decorate your cake, however you want to do it. You guys, I literally got this from Dollar Tree for $1. You're going to need your spatulas to ice the cake, of course, and you're going to need a knife because you want to level your cakes out really well. And this is pretty much everything you need, everything you see right here. Cakes are going to be the first step, so we'll get those out the way. I'm not going to physically show you guys how to bake box cakes because, I mean, you just read the ingredients. It's not, you know, it's just plain and simple. I'm going to follow these exact ingredients on the box and make those cakes, and then I'll be back to help you guys with all the other steps. Party people, so now that we fast forward over the cake steps, because that's very simple. Actually, you guys, this whole recipe is actually pretty much box ingredients. You can do the homemade step, but it's just I'm showing you guys a much faster way to make the cake because this cake is already time consuming. So now we're on to the banana pudding side, and for that, you guys, we're going to use our infamous banana shake pudding that I actually got from Walmart. You guys, I think it was like $1 and change. You guys should go try it. Or you can use regular banana cream. I also wanted to show you guys, if you don't have those, you do not have to use them. You can always substitute. You can use plain vanilla pudding and add some banana flavor in, or you can use banana cream pudding for my banana pudding gurus out there. And when I say banana pudding gurus, I mean like people who actually know how to make banana pudding. You can make this part of the recipe however you want to make it. But as for me, I'm going to use the banana shake puddings. I'm going to use some evaporated milk, just a smidge, maybe about a tablespoon of vanilla flavoring. I'm going to add some heavy cream, a little smidge of lemon juice to my pudding, and some Cool Whip toppings. So we have our 2 boxes of pudding in there. I'm going to add my canned milk. And you guys, I'm going offhand because I've made banana pudding 1,000 times. But for those of you who haven't made it, I'm going to say maybe about a half a can because I'm also going to use my heavy whipping cream, which I have right here. And I'm going to use about a whole cup of this. I'm going to add, like I said, the half a tablespoon of the vanilla. I'm also going to do a half a cup of sugar to this. And this is for the banana pudding part, you guys. And you don't want to do the exact ingredients on the box because you want the pudding to be a tad bit thicker. So you have to cut back on the ingredients to make it more of an icing versus banana pudding texture. I'll show you guys how it should look in a second. I'm going to do about 2 squirts of lemon juice. And the lemon juice is just to cut the the acidity of the whole entire dish because it's going to be very sweet. And I just want to add just a smidge just to cut that down, just a smidge. I'm going to add about 3 dollops of the whipped topping. Well, actually, let me get my mixer together, you guys. Let's mix this up and we'll add the whipped topping in as we're mixing. Make life easier. At this point, you guys, we're going to add in our 3 dollops of Cool Whip. We're halfway mixed through. So we're going to add 3 of these. Which seems like a lot, but it's really not. And we're going to mix this in. So you guys, you see the texture of this? Like, look at it. Let me zoom in for you. It's thick, but it's not too thick. Like, this is how you want it. You need it to be like icing. So you don't want to mix it up too much. You need it to be just like this. And you guys, you can sit this in the fridge along with your cakes, and you need all of this to cool. The key component to this dish is to make sure your cakes are completely cool, your pudding is completely chilled, because everything needs to stick when decorating. That is the main thing for this cake. So once you get this pudding texture the exact way it needs to be, you need to get this in the fridge and let it sit along with your cakes. Overnight is the best recommended, but I'm gonna do at least 6 hours. So I have my first vanilla cake out the oven. I'm gonna let that cool off, and I'm waiting for the strawberry, and I'll let everything chill, and I'll come back and show you guys the fun part, which is how to get decorating started for this bad boy. All right, you guys, so this is for the strawberry shortcake crumble part. It's actually extremely simple. I'm just going to take about 10 Oreos to start with. I might go up to 20, I'm not sure, because I never made it as a 9x9 inch cake. I made a square pan, so last time I used 10. This time I might use between 10 and 20. You will have to go by eye for your cake. I'll let you know the exact measurements once I actually get the crumb going. But all you need for this part is your golden Oreos, and you need your food coloring. Nothing else, no more, no less. It's very simple. And what we're going to do is you're going to open up your pack of cookies. I love opening up a thing of Oreos. It just smells amazing. And all we're going to do is get the icing off of both sides. Crack one open. Most of them are easy to get off. I'm going to put the icing in my small bowl and cookies in large bowl. And all you have to do, you guys, when you scrape your icing off, right into your bowl. Make sure you get it all off as much as possible. Get that down in there. And your cookie might break, might not, doesn't really matter. You're gonna crunch those up anyway. And your cookie in a separate bowl. And I'm gonna do that for, like I said, between 10 and 20 Oreos. I have all of our cookies broken. What I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna take a regular spoon and I'm just gonna mash them like physically with the spoon. Well, I don't know if this is really working out well. I'm gonna mash them physically. Then I'm going to get a potato masher and mash them down. And if you have a food processor, you can do that. However you want to get the cookies mashed, it's up to you. If you want to put them in a plastic bag and mash them, that's also up to you. Like, however you want to mash these cookies, as long as they're into crumbs, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to mash these down, add the food coloring, and then we'll be right back. Alright, you guys, so I actually chilled both of these cakes. This is the plain vanilla cake and this is the strawberry cake, as you can see. And what we're going to do is you're just going to level the cake out so you can stack them. So we're just going to basically cut the top off of the cake. And the thing is, you always move the cake, not the knife. So just basically twirl your cake around and let the knife go through it on its own. And when you do that, you should have a nice even cut. And don't throw your scraps out, you guys. You can always use them for ice cream later on or whatever you want, but it's actually really good if you keep the scraps. It's up to you. but I usually keep mine. So after you get the top of the cake off, just going to remove that. It should be leveled evenly. We're going to start spreading our pudding. Here's our pudding that we made earlier, and as you can see, it's like icing. We're just going to take some of this and douse it right on the cake. And if you want, it's easier if you make a line in the middle of where your cake is going to begin and end for the middle part. So that's pretty much the middle for me. And I'm just going to work my way around with the pudding. And you guys, you want to make sure you spread it as evenly as possible so your cake is even and it has the same amount on each side. And if you can't get it even right away, don't worry, you can always go back around it and work your way around. And you want to make sure you get the sides, you guys, don't forget. And as I said, to get your line straight, it's always easiest if you make the line from the side and work your way up. And that's how you get your lines nice and neat on the side. Right. We're going to do the same exact thing, you guys, for the strawberry side. We're going to add our strawberry glaze, which is right here, what I got, you guys, from Walmart. And you're going to add some whipped cream on, some Cool Whip on top of this. So let me get this open. Let's take some of our glaze. You're going to slap that right on there, y'all. You're going to do this for the second cake as well. You're just going to repeat the process. And on here, you don't put the strawberry glaze on the side, you guys. You just put it at the top because you're going to cover this glaze with whipped cream. So once we get our glaze going, that's perfect. Let me get into. Okay. Take our whipped cream and add that right on top. And if it mixes in, you guys, it's fine because you're putting a cake right on top of this. So if it mixes in, it's okay. Want to make sure it's evened out as the same level as your banana pudding. And now you will get the sides, you guys, and you can come back and smooth that around when you're done, or you can smooth it around in the beginning. It's up to you. So now that we have this part done, this is the first step. So we have our whole entire cake iced, both sides, half of the strawberry and half of the banana pudding. Once I get this in the fridge for another 2 hours, I'm going to go and do the same exact thing and decorate the second layer. And we want this all to stick, so it's kind of, you're doing one cake at a time, layer by layer. So we're gonna get this in the fridge for 2 hours, and we're gonna do the same exact thing for the top cake. All right, you guys, so now we're about to hit the decorating stage of the cake. In this bowl is my leftover pudding from earlier. We have our strawberry glaze, we have our Cool Whip topping, we have our strawberry shortcake crumble that we made earlier, and we have our vanilla wafers and plain strawberries. So what we're gonna do now, we're going to actually add some of the banana pudding into a piping bag, and I want to add some whipped cream into a piping bag, and this is strictly for decoration right now, you guys. So once I get everything in a piping bag, we'll come back and we'll decorate these cakes and we'll get it going, y'all.
2 hours later.
All right, you guys, so I have everything piped out into the bags ready to go, and what we're going to do is, now we have our vanilla wafers and our strawberry shortcake crumble, and as you can see, the cake's pretty much solid, like a nice firm texture to hold the cookies on the side. And where the line is where you want to start placing your wafers. To get the wafers going around and the cookie crumble, you obviously will put this onto this side. You just want to take some, put your hand up, and get the crumbs on. One side at a time, guys. Don't do opposite side. Stick with your vanilla wafers first and then move on to the strawberry side. You want to start where you made your line at on the cake, and you want to just go up with your cookies. And actually, for some reason, even with my miniature ones, I'm not getting 3, so you might just have to do 2 across. Whatever works, you guys. 2 is fine. And if you have an empty space at the top, that's fine. You can cut one and put it up there when you're done to fill in the gaps. And you want to press a little firmly, you guys. You want to make sure your cookies aren't being held onto the cake when you cut it. And you want to leave maybe a small gap in between, so for cutting purposes, just to make it easier to cut when it's time to cut. So we're just going to go around like this, placing our cookies on one by one. The banana side is the easiest side because it's not as messy. But once you get to the strawberry side, that is the part that requires a little bit of mess. So we have the banana pudding side all together. And now we're going to just work on the strawberry crumb side. And as I said with the crumbs, you're just going to take some, and it's going to get a little messy, you guys. And you just want to go up with your hand and place them on. If it gets messy, it's okay. We have our cake all crunched on the side, and I have my banana, this is the icing that we made earlier for the banana pudding in a piping bag. And as you can see, it's all crunched side to side. And what we're going to do first, you guys, as I said, we have the glaze, and I have 4 fresh strawberries over here. We're going to dip it into the glaze and we're going to sit them on top of the cake. But before I do that, I'm just going to pipe around some designs. And you guys, this is not necessary, it's up to you, but it's just to make it cute. So I'm going to pipe some designs onto the cake just to fill it in a little bit. And then we'll dip the strawberries and put them on. So this is the banana pudding I'm piping, and it's obviously going to be on the banana pudding side. And you guys, you can do however you want to do. I'm doing me, and you do you. Okay? But as I said, anything I can do, you can do better. So, it's up to you. Quality work takes time. So you get your pipe in however you want it, wherever you want it. I'm just going around like the open spots on my cake, but you guys are more than welcome. If you want to pipe your entire cake, you can do that. There's really no rules to how you want to make this. As long as it tastes good, it's fine with me. So make sure My piping skills a little rusty, y'all. And I'm probably gonna fill some in around the sides, just to make it. There's our banana pudding side. And also on the banana pudding side, you guys, we might as well do one side at a time. What I like to do is, once I get all the piping done, I take 2 vanilla wafers and I actually put some cream on there. And I actually make these like an Oreo cookie, so then when you put them together, they have cream in between them, like this. And you just put those on the cake like that. So I'm gonna do that with a couple more. All right, you guys, so we have the banana pudding side all done. As you can see, this is the top of the cake. And over here for the strawberry side, we're just gonna take our strawberries, our fresh strawberries, wash them off. You're going to dip them in the glaze so they can get that glaze color on them. You don't want it running, you guys, so try to wipe it off at the bottom. And we're just going to place those right onto the cake. Physically onto the cake. And these are big strawberries, y'all, so you only need about 3. So I'm going to use 3 of these. And you want to submerge them, make sure they get the glossy glaze on them. You might have to get your hands a little dirty, but that's okay. Put those right there on the cake. So you guys, this is the finishing result of the cake. I know you guys want some. Look at this. That's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit your girl up. Let me know if you guys have some recipes that you would like me to try. And be sure to stay tuned for more epic recipes. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm a skeeto, little nigga, come catch me. And that's my bestie, my best friend. Go best friend.